My name is Patrick, and I want to thank you so much for allowing me be part of your small, big, either listening environment. You could be listening in from your bedroom. The easiest is usually people don't want to get out of bed Sunday. If you could be listening in listening in from your sitting room. Njagala kwebaza nnyo for making that decision to listen, to tune in. And now, if you're listening in from your kitchen, you're catching up some bits of cooking here and there. You know, you have some visitors coming through, and you're like, I want to listen to this guy. Music thank you also for doing that. So I want to thank you too for making sure that you're making that decision. Now, for the rest of you who are streaming live, I want to thank you so much, guys, for making sure that you're doing so. Wherever you are wherever you are in the world, thank you so much for tuning in. Now, wherever you are in the world, I want to thank you so much for choosing to listening in to Prime Radio. You could check out the website and read more about this radio station, and specifically for the conversation that we're going to have today. I want to thank Evans. She's in New Jersey, United States, and she's the director or founder of Mama Africa. Thank you so much, Evans. It's a pleasure to have you here in the studio, and the feeling of having someone on the other side, is past the continent of Africa, and she is on the other side, actually our sister of color. Thank you so much for tuning in. I'm going to ask you, Shell, to also send out that link to more brothers and sisters in the States, outside the States, wherever they are. It could be even to countries where you have, African countries where you have connections to. Let them tune into this wonderful conversation we're going to have today. Tuina Kokumba Woluga last Sunday, a number of you that tuned in last Sunday, we had a conversation on Youth Day, which is coming through on the 12th of August under the theme Youth Engagement for Global Action. Now, I want to thank you so much for all of you that tuned in for that conversation. And I promised you that if everything allows, somehow we shall continue the conversation even this Sunday. And I want to inform you that in the studios I have some wonderful guests that are going to break this conversation of the youth and youth engagement. And I'll ask them to introduce themselves before we go into a music break. So let me ask our guests to introduce. Tell us where you've been, Roland Tibidusia.
Well, thank you, Patrick, once again for this great radio. I call it great because we've got platform of sharing our views as young people, the youth, and even us who are in this area of creative arts. And I thank you very much. My background is I'm a visual artist, but lately I'm running something called MamaAfrica.org. I'm working with the organization. So I'm a tribal counselor, and I'm trying to even have my voice out there and let the East Africans and the world over know that we have this great movement that is here, and we need to be part of it, because time is now. It's a cultural-based kind of society that we desire to really share knowledge, education, we desire to have elements of activism and the economic empowerment. That's why I represent right now, and I'm very grateful to be here, and good afternoon, listeners.
Okay. Good to have you, Roland. I'm going to ask you guys to hang on a little bit to that conversation. If you want to be part of the conversation today, the numbers are very simple. You could use the usual Prime Radio WhatsApp number, which is 07. It's somehow a bit faint here, but
it's right there.
Okay, you could read it out for me, Roland.
Okay, the studio lines, if you're calling in, of course, locally here, it's 0702 65 66 01. Then on the MTN line is 0782 06 06 05. And then the other one is 0752 65 66 66.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Roland. My name is Patrick, and this happens every Sunday. I want to thank you so much for tuning in. I have something small here to fix. Let me bring you Roland. Roland, please tell us, how is Mama Africa? And starting with you as a person, because everything should start with us. How is Mama Africa, using you as an ambassador of creative art? Okay, how are you responding to young people to unemployment caused by COVID-19? And how are you helping young people within your model of your sector of creative arts? How are you helping them, number one, recognize that COVID is here for some reason, either to stay for some time, but then how do they go about it?
Okay, thank you, Patrick, and great listeners out there. It's the same. Okay, I would want to go straight to say that never waste a good crisis. Just like an earlier on, one of the sharings, the testimonies there, that someone was able to create masks, which unexpected. That mask wasn't something that he was creating.
Yes.
So that creative was able to find solutions to the things that were on demand, merchandising things that would be in need. And I'd want to say, as Mama Africa, we want to inspire that change, challenge the thinking, because already what I see the activities that we do with the young people is to try to really for now we are recruiting and we're trying to have these discussions, ask the right questions, and then if you talk about economic empowerment, we're encouraging young people to do businesses, because that's how we're going to really flourish and make Africa stronger. So in my thinking is that we have a lot of activity that we can do, but majorly right now is that we are trying to create content that is relevant, that these young people can be inspired. Then there is this part of bridging the gap, because we believe that if we are stronger at the society level, at our own spaces, we can be stronger globally, because we desire to connect the dots by really involving people, informing on what to do, educating, and then taking pride in our cultural values, because sometimes I see this gentleman is putting on this fabric and proudly saying, you know what, buy African. And every time I share, I want to, something about African, I would want to support African businesses. So in so doing, we are trying to really educate the young people out there. Even ahead of this youth celebration, I would want to say that there's a famous quote usually say, you do not know what you don't know. And which specifically knows that we need to go out there. You need to connect people like-minded. Just like every time I come to Soul Cruise, the radio, I find very exciting insights that every young person out there would want to associate, interact, and then, there's that interaction, but you're provoked to think.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes, and that's some of the things that we want to say. And for Mama Africa, we are into the business of recruiting more young people to see how we can work, support each other, to grow. We collaborate on projects. Just like a recent event that we did in the COVID. People will not gather. We had to stage an event at the center of Nambole Stadium, for the 2,000-seater stadium. We created art, and people were watching online, and we were interacting. They say, what do you think? And, we brought all this technology, and some of those ideas and challenges the other young people to be able to really creatively think. And that's, to me, it's a high moment, as much as there's that interaction one-on-one, and there's that mingling and interaction and sharing. People, if you don't have a product, I can be having someone else has it. So you find there's a linkage of different businesses. And those are some of the things. Information, we're always online, trying to also say something. Just like right now, I might tell you that some people are watching live because of the nature of the... we're in the season of technology, so we're able to talk, interact with these young people online. Maybe what I want to say, the activities we've been doing, we've been trying to share posters on different spaces. Maybe I would want to share my number again, so that I can really get these people who are really interested to get associate so much, because the posters have been going out there. We've been putting posters, some banners, and then we've been trying to tell people, join us. And then what I could say is that I would want to add my number to the other numbers that have been shared, which everyone who needs to contact us would join in.
Okay, we'll give out contacts later on the show, but if you want to be to add a word or two on this conversation today, we are talking about the International Youth Day, which will be happening on the 12th of August. And in the studios we have Youth Entrepreneurship Spark representative from that organization, and we've been having a talk around what have they been able to do to help young people, especially go through this situation caused by COVID-19. One is unemployment, as a number of them are accruing through that, violence, domestic violence, early marriage. And then, as you've heard, it's a 12-year, 12 girls got impregnated by one young man. So who is to blame? You could blame the young man, and then when you meet the young man, you could also sympathize with him. So that is the crossroad where young people find themselves, but they are so. Yes. Roland, you sign out remarks.
Okay, mine are very simple, and I like the complex conversation. To me, it's a call to action, because we are in the season, I don't call it COVID, but we need to maximize on what we have. And then for me, from Mama Africa, I would want to say it's a call to action to join us. The time is now. Africa, we need to unite, we need to synergize, we need to collaborate and work on some of these things that we desire to see and realize this African dream. Many youths out there are really yearning. There's something they want to do to solve the issue of unemployment. There's something we want to do to connect, maybe just be a contributor to the climate change.
Yes.
There's so much that we can do, but as we need having these conversations, time is now. Join us at mamaafrica.com. We can have more conversations, more discussions, more testimonies. I was happy that I was in the studio. I find Derek, one of the artists, who mentioned that actually is an impact. That when we began reaching out to many young people, our call to, the creative industry, he's been practicing, and it's a good testimony. So I have to say, maybe let me remind the listeners to join me at the mamaafrica.org. There is +256 then 779 94 9999. The other one is +1 310 728 0718. It's the number that we use on WhatsApp.
Okay.
And what I would want to say is that they can also follow us on our Facebook page, mamaafrica.org. I still remain the tribal counselor for the Mama Africa, and I'm proudly calling out the youth to celebrate this month of August and do something about it.
Thank you so much. Roland is an artist. You can check him out on Facebook.
Yes, I use the Tibirusia.
Tibirusia. He's a great artist. Check him out. He's done quite wonderful paintings. I'm going to leave you with this song. It's called Alemerako. In Luganda, in English, it means persistent.